arts and literature in Jamaica, actually, our independence had a great impact on it. In literature, we began to realize that we did have a literature because prior to 1962, the literary teachings was all British. We wandered lonely as a cloud. We recited odes to Grecian urns. We talked about autumn and winter, something we never experienced personally. It was Alice in Wonderland, and they were all great literature, and I'm a literature grad, so all in my ballpark. However, we were intimate friends with Wordsworth, Dickens, Defoe, Shakespeare, but Roger May, Andrew Salke, Tom McDermott, Claude McKay were strangers, yet they were Jamaican writers of distinction. Most of them were living in England and were published by British publishers, but they were Jamaican. And I still remember when I discovered Claude McKay's Flame Heart. And there is a repetitious line which says, I remember the poinsettias red in warm December. And it was when I realized that he was writing this while living in England that it came home to me that our authors then, though they were writing from a different place, were set in their own place, and that place was Jamaica. And it opened up a whole new era for me personally and for anyone who was interested in literature and our indigenous literature, because these were Jamaicans, no matter what they were writing. In the arts, there was also, in art, there was also a subtle shift. It took a little time. Our artists at that time, I think, were a little bit hesitant of painting Jamaica. They had studied, they were brilliant, they had been away, they knew how to interpret their own creativity, but it had a sheen of colonialism in it. And after 1962, they started finding their voice. And that voice meant that they were no longer hesitant about painting what they see, what they thought, what they envisioned in their creativity of what a Jamaican artist did. So it's when I talked about independence being freedom, it's also liberating, because finally you start thinking that, yeah, it's okay. Not only are we're no longer just British colonists, we are Jamaican. And we can express that Jamaicanness, even though it must encapsulate a bit of the colonialism, because that's all we knew till then. And as we look at what is emerging now, after nearly 50 years of independence, gosh, it is so exciting to see how we have progressed and how we have been able to sort of twist around the history. Even those artists who are going back to the beginning of our history, they are actually using that going back to explain our present. In other words, we can't forget our past, but we can't use it to make our future. But we can use it in the present to take the best of the past, meld it with our present to presage a brighter future.